Hi there again, Chris Klein, Director of Butterfly Ridge Butterfly Conservation Center, here for, I think it's episode 10. Brought an assistant with me. Let me see if I can show you my assistant. There she is. That's Julie. Julie's my dad's dog, and Dad's been a little bit under the weather, so I thought I'd give Julie a chance to come out and play now that the temperatures are actually above freezing here. Big news this week that the monarch population down in Mexico had a banner year, as we were all expecting. A little over 6 hectares for the size of the overwintering population. So what that means is, in the exact same month, January of 2019, the media has reported that monarchs are extinct, as well as that they've had their best year in 10 years. So you figure it out. Now, for today, I actually wanted to talk about oak trees. When you talk butterfly gardening, usually oaks are not what you talk about, okay? But actually, oaks are probably every bit as important as milkweed and spicebush and dill and all those other host plants you can think of. And we're out here kind of at the high point of Butterfly Ridge, because it's a great place to look at oak trees. And so right here in front of me, see if I can show it to you here. So this big boy right here, that is a chestnut oak. Okay, that's Quercus prinus there, and they really like this ridge top here. And we're going to walk down here a little ways. Oops, there's another chestnut oak. We also have white oak tucked in here. So this smaller guy here, this is a white oak. And then the tree house, that's a white oak, the skinny tree that's right next to the tree house. And the tree house is actually built around a black oak. And so on this ridge top, not only do we have the chestnut oak, the white oak, and the black oak, but we also actually have red oak and scarlet oak scattered throughout here as well. So we've got a great selection of oak trees here. The reason why oaks are important is because they are a great caterpillar host plant, not only for different kinds of butterflies, but actually for moths as well. I know a lot of people think moths are just those annoying little gray brown things that buzz you when you're trying to get past the porch light at night. Actually, here in Ohio, we've got some seriously cool moth species, and several of them are actually oak feeders. And so, for example, you have spiny oakworm moth, buck moth, which actually is kind of weird because it actually flies really late autumn. Buck moths usually don't fly until like late October and November. Luna moth, okay. Some of the different prominent moth species are all oak feeders. So oak is a really cool plant, really important plant as far as moths are concerned. It's also a very important plant as far as butterflies are concerned. Except now butterflies, they use oak a little bit different. And you probably noticed that we're back on the move again. Hopefully I don't slip in the snow and kill myself here. But I wanted to get a little bit closer to our clearing so that you could see some things. I am right now standing beside of an oak, kind of a young black oak here. And actually for butterflies, this is the critical oak, okay? Because butterflies, they typically use smaller oaks like this little black oak here. Because, for example, a lot of the hair streak butterflies, when they go to pupate, they actually go into the soil and pupate there. Well, you can probably understand, at least I hope you can, the likelihood of a little, let's say, banded hair streak caterpillar making it from the top of that big black oak all the way down to the ground. The probability of him making that safely is pretty slim. Okay. However, the probability of him making it from the top of this oak tree, okay, down to the soil is actually a pretty good bet. Mama hairstreak, she knows this. And so she lays her eggs on these little tiny oaks instead of the big monster oaks. And some of the butterflies that utilize oak as a caterpillar host plant, once again I mentioned hair streaks. So for example, banded hair streak, striped hair streak, Edwards hair streak. We don't have Edwards here at Butterfly Ridge, but at some sites down in southern Ohio they're fairly common. Another hair streak that I really wish we did have, but we haven't seen, is the white M hair streak. And they're exclusively oak feeders as well. Really cool looking little butterfly, at least in the pictures they look really cool. Really bright blue on that upper wing surface. And then there's also some dusky wings. Let's see, a sleepy dusky wing, horse's dusky wing, I think juvenile's dusky wing. They're all oak feeders as well. But once again, it's not the great big tall monster oaks, it's the little short oaks. So when you're developing habitat, it's real important to think about oak trees, but it's equally important to have a strategy to keep them small. Okay, the strategy that we use here at Butterfly Ridge, and you can kind of see it in our clearing here, in that we let the trees come in. Okay, we let the trees come into this little clearing, but you'll notice all these trees in this little clearing here are all relatively short. All right, because what we do is when the trees get to be about 8 feet tall or so, we actually go in and we cut them off. And what we're trying to do is encourage stump sprouting. So you get sprouts coming up from where we cut them off. By doing that, granted, it's not the healthiest thing for the tree, but we're not managing this clearing for the trees. We're managing this clearing for the butterflies. So by doing that, basically we're keeping a constant supply of little tiny oak trees for the hair streaks and the dusky wings and whatnot. And so hopefully you can find a space in your home landscape where you can do the same. And it doesn't have to be a huge space. Once again, this clearing that I just showed you is, I don't know, maybe a fourth of an acre in size, maybe not even that much. So it doesn't take a huge amount of space, but the benefits are incredible for the hair streaks and the dusky wings. And then once again, if you have a forest, a forest full of oak trees, well, that's going to help your moth population tremendously as well. Alrighty, well, Julie has caught back up to me here. There she is. Say hi to everybody, Jules. There you go. And so that means it's time to head back in. But hopefully, once again, I've given you a few things to think about, the benefits of oaks. When you talk butterfly gardening, it's not all about milkweed. Okay, there's other things that are important too, and oaks are one of those. And so I hope you'll enjoy the warm weather that's coming up this coming week, and we will talk to you again on Monday. Bye.